You know that feeling, that specific one where you've got plans, but just the idea of getting off the couch, it almost hurts.
Oh, yeah. Like you were maybe even excited when you made the plan, but now.
Now you just desperately want to stay home. Maybe, binge that show everyone's talking about.
And actually sending the cancellation text, the conversation we're digging into today really gets it. It says it feels like you're trying to defuse a bomb.
Exactly. It's such a perfect description for that anxiety.
It really is that sort of
Yes.
internal fight, right?
Yeah.
Between what you promised and just this overwhelming need to stop, to just not.
And the material we're exploring points out this usually comes packed with, well, guilt. Loads of it.
Makes you feel like a terrible person or that canceling is automatically rude, even if all you really truly want is Netflix in sweatpants.
Absolutely. So for this deep dive, we're really going to unpack that feeling using the perspective laid out in this material we've looked at.
Yeah, it really pushes back against that automatic guilt, offers a different way to think about it all.
Our mission, then, is to explore these insights. Like, why do we feel so guilty when we're just plain tired?
And how can this perspective maybe shift how we think about canceling and maybe, more importantly, how we think about looking after ourselves?
Okay, let's get into it. The material, it starts right there, that feeling of being stuck. You said yes, but now you're wiped out.
Totally drained.
Eh.
And all you want is that quiet night, the couch, the TV. But that simple wish runs straight into this massive wall of pressure.
Right. And the obvious thing, the seemingly easy thing, is just, well,
Just cancel. But, as this source points out, the immediate next feeling is that guilt. If I cancel, I'll feel like a terrible person. It's an instant self-attack.
which, yeah, leads straight to plan B. Okay, fine, I'll reschedule. I'll just say something came up.
But even that, according to this viewpoint, feels iffy. Like if nothing really came up, no big emergency, then it feels like you're kind of lying, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's that hesitation that, am I being dishonest feeling.
And this is where the material introduces its main idea. It flips the whole thing. The argument isn't that you're lying.
Okay, so what is it?
It's arguing that needing to reschedule because you're genuinely out of energy, that's not lying. That's self-care.
Self-care.
Okay.
And this is where they use their really vivid analogy. It's kind of funny, actually. Plans can be like expired yogurt.
Slight chuckle in voice. It sticks with you, right? You buy the yogurt, you're looking forward to it, you make the plan, you're excited.
But then the expiration date sneaks up, and suddenly that great idea from last Tuesday, it feels like a really bad idea.
And they even add that little detail, like it's going to give you a stomachache. Your gut feeling literally is telling you, nope, this isn't right for me now.
Your body knows. Your mind knows.
Uh-huh.
Even if the calendar says otherwise.
And this perspective is clear about what self-care means here. It's not just, the fun stuff. Not only ice cream or a long bath.
Important, maybe, but not the core of it.
Right. The core, they argue, is knowing when you need rest and actually giving it to yourself. Recognizing that need and honoring it. It's fundamental.
Okay, but still, that little voice pipes up. But isn't canceling, kind of rude? The material tackles that head on.
It does. It argues it's really only rude if you make a habit of it, always doing it last minute, leaving people hanging constantly.
So the occasional cancellation when you give notice, that's different.
That's the point. And canceling because you need rest actually means you might have a better time with that person later when you can actually show up, mentally and emotionally.
And then comes the twist, the really interesting part of the argument.
Yeah, this is the counterintuitive bit.
What if the thing that's actually rude isn't canceling? What if it's dragging yourself there when you're feeling guilty and exhausted?
Because, as the source says, you won't have fun. You'll be tired, distracted, maybe even irritated. You're there, but you're not really there.
That definitely reframes it. It's about the quality of the time, not just fulfilling the obligation.
Exactly. And the summary is pretty clear. Taking care of yourself first doesn't make you a bad friend. In fact,
It makes you a better one. Because you can offer your actual self, not just your tired shell.
so the material gives this example, right? The person feeling all this guilt finally gets a text from the friend they were supposed to see. They're bracing for it.
And then relief. The friend texts back saying they were really tired too and were actually hoping we could reschedule.
Such a common scenario, honestly. The source points out. Happens more often than you think. People just don't want to be the first to say it.
So it's like this hidden agreement sometimes. We're all tired but afraid to admit it.
Could be. It highlights that shared, maybe unspoken pressure.
Which loops back to that main point. It's okay to cancel plans when you need to. Seriously. It's okay.
It's not a failure, it's listening to your needs. And it ties into that other analogy they
Oh, or
gave.
the classic one.
Yeah, like putting on your oxygen mask first on an airplane. You have to take care of your own basic needs before you can genuinely help or connect with others.
Makes sense. Then there's that quick second example they mention. A text comes in from Lisa about brunch.
Yep. And instead of just saying yes or scrambling for an excuse, the person applies this idea. They suggest next weekend.
So it's about proactively managing your energy and commitments.
Exactly. The source frames it as setting boundaries, doing it like a pro. It's a practical way to use this self-care idea.
And the whole conversation kind of ends with a little callback, right? Back to
The yogurt. Yeah, the sign-off is something like, to self-care and expired yogurt.
It's memorable. You got to give it that. Definitely makes the point stick.
It really does.
So wrapping this up, what's the big takeaway from this deep dive into this source's perspective?
Well, it really argues that prioritizing your own rest, your well-being, it isn't selfish. It's not rude, not usually.
Instead, it's framed as this vital form of self-care, something that actually helps your relationships in the long run.
Yeah, it helps you set healthier boundaries, show up more authentically when you do connect. It challenges that automatic guilt reaction pretty strongly.
It really does. So thinking about this perspective, how does viewing plans potentially as expired yogurt, how might that change how you think about making those plans to begin with?